We are predicting the entire NFL postseason playoff bracket, both AFC and NFC standings, and we are finishing with our official Super Bowl 60 predictions, ladies and gentlemen, because it's that time. Football's back, baby. We're officially back. Let's go. But we are going to be starting in the AFC with our 7 playoff teams, and I'm going first, okay? The number 1 seed in the AFC to me this year is going to be the Buffalo Bills. They're going to win the AFC East for the 6th straight year, and they're going to finish 13-4. The number 2 seed in the AFC is going to be the Baltimore Ravens. They're going to finish 12-5. The number 3 seed in winning the AFC West for the 10th straight year is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs, finishing 12-5 as well. The number 4 seed for the 3rd straight year, also winning the AFC South for the 3rd straight year and finishing 10-7 for the 3rd straight year, is the Houston Texans. The number 5 seed making the wild card for the 2nd straight year is going to be the Denver Broncos. They're going to finish 11-6. The number 6 seed, Joe, our boys from New England, the New England Patriots, are going to go 10-7 and get the 6th seed in the AFC. And this 7th seed, I debated between a few different teams. I was thinking maybe Jacksonville. I like the Travis Hunter edition. Maybe the Los Angeles Chargers are in that mix. Cincinnati Bengals in that mix. I know you love the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm sure you have them in that mix. But the team I decided on was the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they're in a must-win mode. I think Zach Taylor knows if I don't get it done this year, I'm getting fired. Joe Burrow's always in must-win mode. He said that before. But I'm going to kick it over to Joe. Joe, who you got? 7 AFC playoff teams. Go for it.
Our 1 through 4 is exactly the same. Our wild cards are not. I have the Bengals as the 5 seed right now. Wow. I think that they are actually going to come in very close to the Ravens in a record. And I wouldn't be surprised if possibly divisional record plays on who gets that division title there. I think the Bengals are really going to, I think Trey Hendrickson's going to be playing out of his mind. He's coming into a contract year. He wants to prove that he deserves that money. You just got T. Higgins. That offense is absolutely loaded, and I like some of the additions they got in the draft. So I have them at the number 5. I think the Broncos come in, honestly, and I actually think this one's really close as well for a division. I think the Broncos with Jody Barron and Patrick Surtain, 1-2 corner punch that they got there, could really wreak some havoc on some of these teams. And I also wouldn't be surprised if this one comes down to that Week 18 sort of thing we talked about before when we were previewing this division for who ends up there. I mean, the Chiefs are definitely going to regress a little bit this year because the division is caught up a little bit, I think. So I have the Broncos as my 6th seed. Number 7, it's a coin flip for me because I feel like you said, there's 3 teams that could fit into this number 7 seed right now. And I have the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Patriots. And right now I've given the edge to the Chargers. I think from a run first team, I like we already know everything that Justin Herbert's got. I think they did some nice things in the wide receiver core, and Amari Hampton is probably one of the most slept on running backs in this draft. Yep. So that's my wild card right now. Like I said, our number 1 through 4 seeds are identical.
I like the picks, Joe. I like the picks. Like I said, I battled with the Chargers. I went back and forth. I really like the Omari and Hampton pick. We're going to talk about him in a future episode that we're about to do as far as award predictions go, because he's got a great argument as Offensive Rookie of the Year as well. People are sleeping on him for that award. He might be the best bet for that award as well. But our boy Sammy, okay, he's not here. He couldn't make it today, but he did send in his AFC predictions. Okay, so I'm going to name them off for you. His number 1 seed was the Baltimore Ravens. He had the Bills as the 2, Chiefs as the 3, Texans as the 4. So we were very similar. All he had was the Ravens and Bills flipped. His 5 seed Broncos. His 6 seed was the New England Patriots. And of course, he had to go 7 seed Miami Dolphins because he's a homer, even though I think he knows deep down, like the Dolphins aren't making the playoffs. They're just not. Like he's trying to be optimistic here, I think, but they're just not making the playoffs.
To be fair, people could say the same thing about us putting the Patriots as a possible thing. Okay. Because there's an argument, there's a little homer in everybody who does something, all right? Just a little bit. Just not a little bit. Don't you lie. Don't you lie to me.
Strict objectivity coming from this side of the recording right now.
100%.
Strictly objective.
Me too.
Me too. And now that I'm done with that bullshit, let's go on to the wild card round. Okay, the wild card round here in the AFC. This is what I got. Okay, so I got the 7-seeded Bengals are going to go on the road at the 2-seeded Ravens. It's going to be an AFC North battle to start off this postseason. And these two teams, whatever they play, it seems like it's a high-scoring battle. We got these quarterbacks going back and forth. I think that's exactly what it's going to be again, but the better team usually wins these games because one team doesn't have a good head coach and doesn't have a good overall roster, and the defense is bad, and the other team has all those things that the other one doesn't. So I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens. I think they're going to win, move on to the division round. I think it's going to be like 34-30, something in that range. The next wild card matchup I have is our 6-seeded New England Patriots going at Arrowhead versus the number 3-seeded Kansas City Chiefs. And Joe, I know you remember this game. It's the last time the Patriots were in the playoffs. They went on the road and faced the Buffalo Bills. Mac Jones was the quarterback, and and the Bills literally didn't punt. They scored a touchdown every single possession that they had. Now, I do not think this game is going to be as bad. However, that was probably one of the worst games I've ever seen, and this one's also going to be really bad. The Chiefs are going to win 38-10, and we're going to get smoked and eliminated in round one. The next wild card matchup I have, the Denver Broncos as the 5 seed are going to face the Houston Texans as a 4 seed. Now, this is a really intriguing matchup because these two teams could have the 2 best defenses in football this season. I think the Broncos just have the better overall roster. They have a great offensive line. The Houston Texans have a bad offensive line. I think that's going to be the difference in this game. The Broncos are going to win a low-scoring bout. It's going to be 20-13 for the Denver Broncos, and they will be moving on to the divisional round. Joe, I'm kicking it to you. Give me your AFC wildcard picks in this playoff bracket.
It doesn't really matter who the Ravens face in round one, realistically. Chargers, Raiders, Patriots, flip a coin, Dolphins, if it's Sammy, the Ravens are beating them. That's what's going to happen. The Ravens move on. My favorite matchup of my lineup is the fact that the Broncos and Chiefs meet for the 3rd time that year. They go to Arrowhead, and you know what? You've already said it, right? It's the defensive, it's the players, it's all these things. How crazy would it be that the Broncos go into Arrowhead and upset the Chiefs?
You're not doing
with
it.
That good secondary, with that offensive scheme, with that head coach. You're right. It's not happening. Chiefs beat the Broncos, and they probably go 2-1 against them because I do think the Broncos will get one game from them in this season, but it's not going to be wild card weekend in Arrowhead. And finally, Texans-Bengals is right there. Is this the year that Zach Taylor gets over the hump, that they finally get back on track? And the defense is still trash. And Trey Hendrickson, even though he may have an argument for playing with his hair on fire and Defensive Player of the Year, isn't enough. All seeds 1 through 4 are represented in the divisional round. Unfortunately, we have no wild card upsets right now, although I do think the Broncos-Chiefs game will be the best game if this is how it works out in wild card weekend.
I agree with that. If that's how it turns out, we always talk about how it's hard to beat a team 3 times or 2 times, especially an in-division team like that. So yeah, that would be an incredible wild card round game that we would all get a chance to stay tuned for. But we're moving on to the divisional round now. In my divisional round matchups, I got the 5-seeded Broncos going up against the number 1 seed Buffalo Bills. This is an AFC wild card rematch from last year. However, I don't think it's going to be the same this year. I think this is going to be a really good football game. The Broncos now with some playoff experience, especially with Bo Nix in his second year. We know Sean Payton has a bunch of playoff experience as well, and we see the additions they made this offseason. However, the Buffalo Bills are still going to win. Josh Allen really doesn't lose to anybody but Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, so I think he is going to win this game and move on to the AFC Championship for the 2nd straight year for Buffalo. It's going to be 24-17 is my score prediction for that one. But the other divisional round game is the one that we want to see. It's the 3-seeded Kansas City Chiefs versus the 2-seeded Baltimore Ravens. And I'm going to be honest with you, Joe, if this game actually happens, there is going to be no part of me that actually thinks the Ravens are going to win this game. There is going to be zero part of me that thinks the Ravens are actually going to win this game. But you want to know what I'm going to do, Joe? I'm going to pick the Ravens anyway because I'm just really freaking tired of picking the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm really tired of it. And you want to know something else? All good things come to an end. Our Patriots dynasty came to an end. The Jordan Bulls dynasty came to an end. My Yankees dynasty came to an end. All these dynasties end at some point. Now, I'm not saying the Chiefs dynasty is going to end. However, there was a bunch of little bumps in the road with the Patriots dynasty. There were years they lost in the divisional. There were years they lost in the conference championship. I think this is going to be one of those years for the Kansas City Chiefs. And I am picking Lamar Jackson to finally get over the hump against the boogeyman. They're going to beat Patrick Mahomes 27-24, Joe.
Man, that would be crazy. Like I said, I think that the game against the Broncos will be close for the Chiefs. But I'm agreeing with you. I think the Ravens get over them this time. And I think we are going to see a Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen AFC Championship game. I do think that this is Josh Allen and the Bills' year. I think that the Bills are going to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl in 2025.
All right, Joe, this is where this gets crazy, bro. What I had in mind before this episode was the Ravens are going to, come off this emotional victory. They finally get over the boogeyman, and then Josh Allen's going to be sitting there, and he's like, I don't have to beat Patrick Mahomes. I know how to do this. I can win against everybody besides Patrick Mahomes, and the Bills beat the Ravens to go to the Super Bowl. However, you just picked the Bills to go to the Super Bowl. I just said I wanted to pick the Bills to go to the Super Bowl. You want to know who Sammy has in the freaking Super Bowl? The Buffalo Bills. So all 3 of us have the Buffalo Bills to go to the Super Bowl. Now, I hate agreeing with you guys more than just about anything in the entire world. So I'm just gonna randomly pick a different team, and I'm just gonna switch the AFC Championship result. I say Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are going to the Super Bowl now, strictly because I do not want to agree with you guys. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it at all. So the Ravens are going to the Super Bowl. Scrap everything that I just said, all that poetic justice. Oh, Josh Allen gets over that. No, it's going to be Lamar. The Ravens are going to the Super Bowl, and my NFL analysis behind it is I do not want to agree with these guys. That's why I'm picking the Ravens to go to the Super Bowl. Yeah,
we're hedging our bets here at BTU, boys.
One of us is probably going to be right, hopefully, and then the Chiefs will end up making it again. Whatever. You know what? Let's just get the AFC over with. We're done with the AFC. We already know who's going to the Super Bowl. Let's go to the NFC, shall we? Now, as far as the NFC goes, my number 1 seed is going to be, once again, actually, they were the 2 seed last year, but again, it's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles. I still think they're the best team in the NFC. I got them going 12-5. I think this is going to be a jumbled up race here in the NFC because I think a lot of these teams are in a similar tier. My 2 seed is the Los Angeles Rams. I think they're going to have a big year in the NFC West, win the NFC West, and go 12-5. My 3 seed, Joe, I don't know if you saw this episode last week. I got the Chicago Bears winning the NFC North, going 11-6, shocking the world. Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson taking over that division, going 11-6, getting the 3 seed. And I don't know if you saw this either, Joe. My 4 seed shocking the world in the NFC South, the Carolina Panthers. They will be going 9-8, winning the NFC South and getting the 4 seed. My 5 seed is going to be the Green Bay Packers. This is a team that before last week, I did not even have making the playoffs. However, I think it's going to be so jumbled in these wild cards that the Micah Parsons edition is going to add an extra game for Green Bay. So I think they're going to get some tiebreakers, end up going 10-7, getting the 5 seed. My 6 seed in the wild card for the second straight year is going to be the Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels is just too damn good to miss the playoffs, in my opinion. And my 7 seed, I can't quit you, baby. The Detroit Lions. I'm a little bit lower on you this year. I'm a little bit more down on you this year. I'm nervous about the coordinators. I'm nervous about the offensive line a little bit this year, but I can't quit you, Detroit. Okay, you're going to the playoffs once again for the 3rd straight year. Joe, give me your NFC picks. Give them to me.
I'm still the Bears win, the Panthers win.
Yeah.
The Bucks don't make it. Jesus.
Nope.
So
you heard me right.
We're completely different. Everything about this is different.
Thank God.
Nothing is the same. The Rams are getting the 1 seed in the NFC. I think the Eagles are impressed. They are my 2 seed. The Bucks are going to win the AFC South. They are my 3 seed. And I think that the NFC North is so competitive that they are the 4 seed no matter who wins it. And I have the Detroit Lions repeating as division winners. Now we go to the wild card. Like I said, Jaden Daniels is too damn good. So why wouldn't I put him number 5? Right? Packers, my 6. Vikings are my 7. I think J.J. McCarthy has a shot at comeback player of the year, even though he never played before.
How do you come back when you've never played?
Because you never did, man. He started at the bottom. He came back. That's what I want. It's usually a guy comes off an injury, right? He did there. I think this is his rookie kind of thing. Plus, you look at the talent the Vikings have on that team offensively, and Kevin O'Connell is a offensive mastermind. I do not see how the Vikings don't succeed, but they are still my 7th seed in this NFC race.
Yeah, and Joe, to your point, I mean, the NFC was tough. Like you got to make some tough decisions in the NFC. Like you mentioned, you basically have to leave one NFC North team out. You left the Bears out. I left the Vikings out. I think all 3 of us left out the San Francisco 49ers. Like, it's reasonable for them to have a bounce back year this year because of their schedule. Let's get Sammy's picks in there because Sammy has his predictions as well in the NFC. He's got the Eagles as the 1 seed, the Rams as the 2 seed, the Green Bay Packers are his 3 seed, the Tampa Bay Bucks are his 4 seed. Then he's got Lions, Commanders, and Bears as his wild card matchups. Speaking of wild card matchups, let's go to the wild card round where I have the 7-seeded Lions versus the 2-seeded Rams. Now, this is a rematch of the wild card round game a couple years ago. Really good back and forth affair. It was Matthew Stafford's return to Detroit. That matchup, Detroit got the best of the Rams. However, I think this matchup's going to be very similar, except the opposite result. The Rams are going to pull it out. Close game. It's going to be 27-24, and the Rams are going to move on to the divisional round. Now, my 6 versus my 3. It's the Commanders versus the Bears. It's the 2 top overall picks from the 2024 draft. It's Caleb Williams versus Jaden Daniels. This could be the first of many playoff matchups in their career. Is this the new Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen rivalry of the NFC? I guess it remains to be seen. However, I think Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears win this game and they win a playoff game. This is a dream season for the Chicago Bears. They move on to the divisional round with a 30-26 win. And then my 3rd wild card matchup, it's the Packers versus the Panthers. And the Packers catch a break because they get the worst team to make the playoffs in the Carolina Panthers. And I think the Panthers put up a fight, but the Packers just got too much talent. It's going to be 24-23 Packers as they also move on to the divisional round, Joe.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and start. Vikings, Eagles. Eagles. I don't even need to talk about it. JJ McCarthy, I very rarely do you see a rookie outside of Jaden Daniels and what that Commanders team did last year have success their first year of playoff football. It's rare. I just think that the Eagles are a more playoff ready team. Eagles take that game. Bucks, Packers. I think the Packers, this is Micah Parsons' game to show that the Packers didn't waste draft capital on him. So I think if they gave an award for winning Wildcard week and a player award, it would go to Micah Parsons in this game. Commanders, Lions. The Lions have to prove they weren't just coordinators, and Jared Goff still's got the stuff going up against Jaden Daniels, who's got his number one wide receiver at $30 million a year, which I'm a big fan of Scary Terry. I was one of the few people on this panel that had Scary Terry as one of my top 5 wide receivers in the NFL. Just so we are clear, we didn't post that short because everyone thought I was insane. And just to prove it, Scary Terry is going to lead this game in yards and touchdowns from the wide receiver position. Commanders over Lions.
I like it. I like those picks. I could easily see that. And I mean, we posted Sammy's short for Scary Terry and they all thought he was insane too. So I think either way, people were going to think you guys were insane just based on the opinions that you guys had. But let's move to the divisional round now. And in my divisional round, I got the 5-seeded Packers versus the 1-seeded Eagles. Again, this is another wild card round rematch from last year. I think this one's going to be a little bit closer. Eagles just got a better team. I mean, the Eagles, if there's two guys who are going to be able to neutralize Micah Parsons, it's Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson on the outside. And I think they'll be able to neutralize him enough to be able to give Saquon some running lanes, to be able to give Jalen Hurts some time in the pocket to dice up that Packers secondary. So I think the Eagles are going to win that one. I think it's going to be 24-20 in that game. Philadelphia moves on to another NFC Championship game. Now in this one, it's the Rams versus the Bears, and the Bears have had a storybook season so far, Joe. They've kept it rolling. This is everything that you could have asked for with Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. However, Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay say no mas. Okay, it's over. Your dream, your storybook, it's done. You're cooked. Okay, the Los Angeles Rams are going to blow out the Chicago Bears in the divisional round. It's going to be 31-10 in the divisional round, and the Los Angeles Rams are going to move on to the NFC Championship game. Who you got in your divisional rounds in the NFC, Joe?
All right, so Packers, Eagles, still different seeds, same result. Packers going up against the Eagles here. I got the Eagles. It's just going to happen. Micah Parsons isn't enough for the Packers to come over. They got a bunch of wide receiver twos. I don't think they play well enough, even though Josh Jacobs is there, and I think Josh Jacobs has a great year. Eagles are going to go on to the NFC Championship game where they will face the winners of the Commanders and the Rams. This is a game that I cannot wait to watch. I have a little more trust in the players on the Rams side than I do on the Commanders side. I think that Jaden Daniels shows up to the playoffs 2 years in a row, does not see the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. It is going to be the Rams Eagles NFC Championship game.
Dude, I am so nervous about these predictions because let's go over to freaking Sammy's prediction. Why don't we? Okay. Sammy has the freaking Rams in the Super Bowl. Okay. We both have Eagles Rams in the NFC Championship game. And you want to know what I freaking wrote down? Eagles Rams NFC Championship game. We saw another, again, divisional round rematch from last year. And I think the Rams are going to overcome it. And I think the Rams are going to go to the Super Bowl. And now I agree with Sammy again. And now I'm nervous to kick it back to you because I feel like you're probably going to pick the Rams too.
Well, I feel like I have to pick the Eagles now, right? Like fly Eagles fly, because we can't go 3 for 3. I wanted to pick the Rams, but now you won't let me pick the Rams. So
you can pick the Rams. I'll change. You want to know something? Scrap my entire playoff bracket.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
I'm doing it. Scrap the whole playoff bracket that I just said. I'm riding with Detroit still. This is my 3rd straight year. I'm picking the Detroit Lions. I don't give a shit.
They're the 7th seed Detroit Lions.
And they're making the Super Bowl. I don't care. Detroit, we're back. We are so fucking back, Detroit. Scrap my whole NFC bracket. It's the Detroit Lions in the NFC. We are back, Detroit. Lions win the Super Bowl. They're winning their first Super Bowl in the history of their franchise, and Jahmyr Gibbs is a Super Bowl MVP. Joe, give me your Super Bowl prediction. I'm over this. I'm done with it. You just give me your Super Bowl prediction.
Oh man, and it's funny too because I was just thinking about this. Is how many times have the Bills gone to the Super Bowl and not won?
4.
Make it one more, baby. Matthew Stafford gets the 7th Super Bowl. The Bills are still not Super Bowl champions, even with a career year from Josh Allen. Give me
this is This is not at all how I saw this episode going. I was sure we were going to disagree on all the big picture stuff. Sure enough, we agreed on literally everything. And by the way, Sammy also has Rams versus Bills, but he has the Bills winning the Super Bowl. So there goes your entire NFC playoff or your entire NFL playoff bracket for you, ladies and gentlemen. Comment down below your Super Bowl champion. Comment down if you have the same exact Super Bowl as all three of us had, apparently. And we'll catch you on the next one.
This has been Between the Uprights. Football is life. The rest is just details.